All right, today we are doing some ground meat. So we're gonna make some hamburger out of this. So we have some beef fat. You can get this basically at any butcher shop, most butcher shops, I guess. Then we have some just elk meat that is chopped up, and then we have some other pronghorn meat from the pronghorn I just shot. So we're gonna make some hamburger into all this. We're gonna do probably a 90% meat, 10% fat ratio, maybe 85-15, somewhere in there. But all you'll really need is either some tubs or some bowls, the meat. And if you want to add fat, you can add fat to it. And then we'll be using the Lem. I think this is the 8. Yeah, the number 8 grinder. So that's all you'll really need. So we'll show you kind of the process of how to do it, get it all taken care of, and show you how to process your own hamburger meat. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna weigh how much meat we actually have. So it looks like we have about 7.5 pounds of meat. So then we'll just do the math of how much fat that we need to add to the meat to make it that 90-10, 85-15 ratio. So that's the first step of what we'll do. All right, we have 7.5 pounds or 120 ounces. So we're gonna add 12 to 18, so probably like 15 ounces of fat. So we'll get that measured out here real quick. And then we'll get those mixing and get it grinding. So 7.5, 12.5-ish. All right, perfect. We'll add 15, so that's about 12.5% fat compared to the meat. So we'll mix that in with the meat, and then we'll start grinding it. All right, and in addition to the preparation, so we got this over here. We'll need to thaw that out a little bit more, so we'll just kind of leave it out here while we're doing the pronghorn. This has been in the freezer because I killed this last month. The pronghorn I just killed 2 days ago. So we'll leave this here while we're doing that. But in preparation, we're gonna weigh this out, do the same step that we did with the elk. So we have, I don't know, we'll have to weigh it out. And then we'll put the fat in here and we'll get grinding. All right, so we got about 15 ounces of fat. We'll add in this other pronghorn meat, which was 15 ounces of fat, 130 ounces of meat. So we'll get all this added. The reason why I'm putting it in here first is so I can mix it around and get the beef fat mixed into it pretty good before you grind it, so you're not having just a big clump of fat and a big clump of meat. It can grind it a little bit easier and get the fat kind of mixed throughout the entire thing. So once we get this kind of mixed up a little bit, then we'll start putting it through the grinder. All right, so next step, we'll just start putting it up here into the bin up top, and then it's on to the grinding phase. Now, doing it this way, it's a great way to save money over the long run. It may not save you a whole lot of money to begin with, but if you're gonna do this for multiple years of hunting or just processing your own meat, it can save you quite a bit of money, and also you get to know exactly where your meat came from, how it was processed, how it was handled, and all that. So great way to not only do that, but also learn how to do it yourself. But we're just about there, and we'll get to the actual grinding process. So now that it's all up there, we got our empty bin. So all we need to do is plug it in and get to grinding. All right, so turn it on here, and here we go. So you just want to push it down into that hole there. Once it kind of gets feeding there, then it starts coming a little bit easier. You want to cut your meat into like golf ball size pieces. just so it fits down into the hole there better and it can grind it up a little bit easier. So now I can see that fat coming through. So we're doing a coarser grind right now, and then once we have it all pushed through the coarse grind, then we'll do a finer grind on it for the final product. Little tip as well. If the meat is colder, it helps so that the friction on this doesn't heat up. So this stays cold and it just makes it for an easier grind. So little tip as well, if your meat's even a little bit frozen, that's still just fine. All right, just finishing up the last little bit up here. Just shoving that down in the hole there. So this is what we got so far. Nice meat coming out of there. So this is the pronghorn ground hamburger meat. So it's great for basically anything, but this will be good meat to have. So we'll mix this up a little bit and then we'll put it through a fine grind as well. All right, so we're switching that head off for this head for the finer grind. So we'll just switch that real quick. You want to make sure this little divot right here lines up on the bottom. So once we got that lined up, we'll put the head back on and put all this up in here and do the whole grind again. Mix it all around, get the beef fat really mixed into that pronghorn meat, and then start putting it back up here for the second and last grind into the finer grind. Grind number 2 now, so this is the finer grind. Some good looking meat right there. Nice fat content compared to the meat content. So get the rest of this ground up and get it packaged up and into the freezer. All right, so here's what we got. We got some good ground meat, good fat content in it. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna weigh it out into 1 pound portions, and then we're gonna package it into 1 pound bags. So this will make it easy for hamburgers or meatloaf or hamburger helper or whatever you need hamburger for. This will be great for it. So we'll get it measured out into 1 pound packages and get it packaged up. All right, we are getting all of this, weighing out 1 pound, putting it into packages, and then we'll vacuum seal it. So stick around, we're gonna actually do some jerky as well. So this may be, you can click the link up above or stay around for the next video because we're gonna do some jerky. So that'll be the next video coming up. All right, so we got 9 packages of pronghorn hamburger. So we got some hired help here. He's got some, is this deer? Or?
Yeah,
Mule deer to do. And then we got the rest of this elk to do. And then we're gonna do some jerky too. Alrighty, so thanks for watching. That's kind of the process to do ground meat. Pretty simple, easy if you have the right equipment. But we'll get the rest of this taken care of, but showed you the process of how to do it overall. So you can either click the link above or the link right here to watch how to make jerky. So that's the next thing that we're gonna do with some, is it deer or elk that you have?
Deer.
So we're gonna do some deer, and then I have some pronghorn that we're gonna do as well. So that'll be the next video, so take a look out for that.